Who will win it in 2004? We'll know very shortly as the last horse moves in. And we're all ready. Set for the Todman. Racing. And a nice even line. Immediately Cezanne dropping off in the first 100 metres. And one of the roughies, Zacharada, is just the leader, taken on and headed by Charge Forward. A length away third has come in Spanner, followed by Dane Shadow, and not a single doubt going through. About 4 to Samboy and a length to Cezanne. Settling and going past the 750. And Charge Forward is the leader. Only about a head or so, but quickly Zacharada punches through to shade Charge Forward down to the 650. Not a single doubt third. Dane Shadow on its outside, and then come in Spanner, 3 lengths Samboy, and a half length to Cezanne, past the 600, coming down in the direction of the home bend, and Zacharada at any old odds leads the way. 3/4 Charge Forward, not a single doubt, bailed away at the moment. Dane Shadow on his outside, come in Spanner, Samboy, and 2 lengths to Cezanne. In the straight, they're approaching the 300, and Beedman let Charge Forward have his head, and Charge Forward did just that. He put 2 lengths, not a single doubt, who's under the whip, followed then by Dane Shadow, Samboy, and come in Spanner, but Charge Forward's in full flight, and they're not a hope in Hades of getting him. Dane Shadow, Samboy for the Miners, but Charge Forward, brilliant effort to take out the Todman. Dane Shadow second, Samboy third, fourth not a single doubt, followed by come in Spanner, Cezanne, and Absolute was Zacharada. Oh boy, he's the one to beat in the slipper, I think, as far as the Colts and Geldings are concerned. He is the one to beat in the slipper. Of course, we are awaiting with great anticipation number 1, Alingi, in race 2, but this horse is very, very good. Number 2, Charge Forward, written by Darren Beedman. We'll take it out. Second will be Dane Shadow. And third will be Samboy, and they are official. 2, 3, and 4. Charge Forward by Red Ransom from Sydney's Dream, trained by John O'Shea for Peter and Helen Horwitz, B. Kerr, J. Abrahams, Mazes Blizzard, and J. Onset. Darren Beedman, and he has beaten convincingly number 3, Dane Shadow, by Dane Hill from Slide Chance, John Hawkes, Corey Brown, and number 4, Samboy, who's by Flying Spur from Novinka, Gay Waterhouse, Danny Beasley. And number 1, a most disappointing fourth, not a single doubt. The time for the race was 1:10.30. The race record is 1:09.29. The sectional time, the line is right. Ready for the Riesling. No, there's movement in the middle. That seems to steady down. Gates are back, they're off. Wager jumped very swiftly from a wide alley. Getting out nicely was Crimson Rain. One World in the third berth, then Alingi moving forward, followed by Irish Lou, then Prisoner of Love, Special Impact, and Ballyblur whips them in. They travel about 350, and Wager untroubled to lead Crimson Rain by nearly 2 lengths. Similar margin third is the roughy Irish Lou, parked on the inside of Alingi, who settled pretty well, followed by One World, Prisoner of Love, Special Impact, and Ballyblur is Absolute. Down the side they sweep, and the order is unchanged. The leader Wager by a length on Crimson Rain, 2.5 Alingi around Irish Lou, and then comes One World, Prisoner of Love over on the inside. Special Impact being passed by Ballyblur, coming down to the home corner, and the leader is still Wager, 3/4 to a length on Crimson Rain, getting closer with every bound. A couple of lengths to Alingi, called upon now by Oliver, and One World on her outside at the 300 marker. Alingi starting to sprint. The leader Wager, a half length Crimson Rain, and 3/4 Alingi on the outside. She's starting to gather them in. Alingi, she goes to Crimson Rain and Wager. Ballyblur from a long way back, but the Victorian filly hits the front. Alingi, she's drawing away. Ollie gave her a crack with a whip. She's too good. Alingi from Crimson Rain. I think the outside Ballyblur is nose Wager for third. Prisoner of Love ran a nice race. A long margin, One World, Irish Lou, and Special Impact was tailed right off. Number 1, Alingi, written by Damien Oliver. Number 1, Alingi, Damien Oliver. Well, the great Encosta de Lago, from Ocean Fast. Lee Friedman, and has won and won well. He gave her a hard crack about 100 to go to keep her mind on the job. And she didn't show the acceleration that Charge Forward did in the Colts and Geldings division, but nevertheless, she really hit the line with authority. They'll go like the clappers, as we know, in the slipper, and that's going to suit her right down to the ground. She handled this way of going, I thought, very, very well. She seemed to be such a sensible filly. Okay, here are numbers 1, 4, 2, and 3. Number 1, Alingi, Damien Oliver first. Number 4, second, that is Crimson Rain, who's by Red Ransom, trained by Bruce McLaughlin out of Crimson Road, written by Chris Muntz and comprehensively beaten. And Ballyblur got home well for third. The Celeb filly, trained by Anthony Cummings, Glen Boss. And number 3, Wager, showed speed and just knocked up a little to fourth. And Prisoner of Love did best of the others. She got to the line very well indeed. Now, firstly, totes. The winner, number 1, Alingi, $1.60 and $1.04. Number 4, Crimson. 1,100 metres. Warm day in Sydney out here at the Gardens. Ready. Line steadies. They're off this time. Again, a nice level dispatch. Tycoon, the early leader from Before Too Long, and Star of Gibraltar. Length and a half further back is Chocolate Starfish on the outside of Shags, then Bradshaw, and Naden drops out last at the end of about almost 400. And Before Too Long, keen to run, leads about a neck or so on Star of Gibraltar. The favourite gets a nice tag 2 away third, Tycoon. 2.5 Chocolate Starfish on the outside of Shags, and then comes Bradshaw, and about 2.5 to Naden. Past the 600, no change, and Star of Gibraltar is the leader. Second posse is taken by Before Too Long. Tycoon 2 away third, then Shags, followed closely by Chocolate Starfish, Bradshaw, the rails, and Naden's last. Straightening up now. And again, Before Too Long raced to Star of Gibraltar, but Tycoon quickly pouncing upon Before Too Long. A couple of lengths to Shags. Naden starting to warm up, and then Bradshaw. Tycoon dashes clear. Inside the 200, Tycoon put 2 lengths Naden Before Too Long. Bradshaw's getting home well nearer to the inside from Shags. He had a sustained look on the leader, Tycoon, but he's going to blitz them. And to the line goes Tycoon. Most impressive to beat Bradshaw and Naden. Followed home by Shags, and then came Chocolate Starfish Before Too Long, and Absolute was Star of Gibraltar. Tycoon, gee, I tell you what, he had a long look. Bossy. Number 6, Tycoon, ridden by G. Boss. He's a pretty smart horse, and he's won that with authority. Number 6, Tycoon by Anabar from Ty Rises, and has now had the 6 starts for 5 wins. Waiting on the numbers to come up. The time is 1:02.96. 1:02.96. Kamina holds the race record at 1:02.69. The track record is Sharps, 1:02.52. Here we go. 6, 1, 2 and 5. 6, Tycoon, Glen Boss. Number 1 is second, Bradshaw, ridden by Corey Brown for Johnny Hawkes, by Last Tycoon, the 8-year-old. And third goes to number 2, Naden, who looked to have his chance of Spectrum gelding, Leon McDonald, Darren Beedman. And for the pick 4, it was number 5, Shag. 6125 official totes. Number 6, 230 and 150. Number 1, 270. And no third divvy for number 2. Quinella, 610, exacta 980, trifecta 2130, first 4 6930. Special div is required on the extra double 230, with Desert Warren hinting out of race number 4. Well, there's not much more we could add there. The 2 leaders went along at a good clip, and Glen Boss had a charmed run, attacking them on Tycoon, and quickly set out after the lead in the straight, got past Before Too Long with ease, and then Bradshaw came along the rails, but has been safely held. Bradshaw with Tycoon winning by 2 1/4 lengths, with a long head between second and third. 2 1/4 long head, 1:02.90. Warwick Farm last Saturday week is coming forward. How he'll adapt to 1500 we'll shortly know. And we're set for a start. Race 4, Sydney. Away they go. Kingside out the back with All Gonna Do It. Terracotta Bay didn't jump quickly, but is threading his way through the field. And Only Words is the early leader from Handsome Ransom. Skittles off the track, and then Niagara Falls, followed by Terracotta Bay. Oxano on the inside of Diurnal. Second last, another 2 away is All Gonna Do It, and a couple to Kingside. At the 1100, and Jimmy Cassidy had been trapped out pretty wide on Skittles, so takes that horse to the front now. A length or so on Handsome Ransom. Only Words drops into a nice posse third. A length and a half further away, Terracotta Bay obliged to race out wide, and then comes Niagara Falls, inclined to over race a little. Diurnal on the outside of Oxano, followed by All Gonna Do It, who's wide and pulling a bit, and Kingside is last as they work their way down past the 750, and Terracotta Bay, given rein, raced up to Skittles and beat it off 3/4 of a length the margin at the moment. In third position, Handsome Ransom, 2 lengths to Only Words, and then comes Niagara Falls, All Gonna Do It, followed by Diurnal. Over on the inside, next is Oxano and Absolute Absolute in the field is Kingside. They're on the turn for home, and Terracotta Bay again joined by Skittles on the inside. Only Words pulled around them now, 2 lengths into Handsome Ransom, followed by Niagara Falls, but Skittles with a kick and down to the 200 marker. Skittles a length and a half on Only Words, who's grinding away now. Only Words has almost got Skittles, and then Kingside from the tail, but Only Words hits the front and looks to be home and hosed, and is 4 out of 5 for her. Only Words has beaten Kingside and third to Skittles. He didn't see the 1500, followed by Niagara Falls, all going to do it, and then Terracotta Bay, Diurnal, Handsome Ransom, and Absolute was Oxano. Yep, she was too good, very heavily backed and didn't let them down. She's a very, very nice filly. Number 10, Only Words, trained by Johnny Hawkes for the Canning Down Stud Syndicate, managed by J.M. Barnes and Mrs. J.E. Mackay. In sweep from What Can I Say? So she's certainly very well bred, eh? And Rodney Quinn aboard. He's been on her for the 4 wins, and he rides her perfectly. So that's 2 Group 2s to her now in successive starts. The Surround at Warwick Farm, and now the Prolock Far Lap Stakes. Here are the numbers: 10, 5, 4 and 11. Only Words, Rod Quinn first. Number 5 run a big race coming from the back of the field. Kingside, a colt by Carpstad. Bard Cummings, Glenn Boss, and the third went to number 4, Skittles. He didn't run the 1500. He did a good job, really. He was wide early, and I suppose Jim Cassidy had no other alternative than to take him to the lead. Otherwise, he's going to be pratted very, very wide there on in. So under the circumstances and being a doubted 1500, he's done reasonably well. The Quest for Fame gelding, Timmy Martin, and number 10 ran 4th, and that was Niagara Falls. And the totes read this way. Number 10, Only Words, 260 and 130. Number 5, second. Number 5, Kingside, second, paid $3.90. And number 4, Skittles, third, paid $1.60. The Quinella, $26.80. Exacta, $31.70. Trifecta, $197.80. The first 4, $1,335.90. Strange Conflict. Wonder what's going to lead. They're all in now, ready to go. The Ranvet for 2004. They're racing, and they'll come into our view right now. Mummify is the early leader from Ambulance. Maccabi Diva third, followed by Sound Action. Then Terrific Tourist, lashed near the inside and wider out as Strange Conflict. They race along to the 1700, and Mummify shows the way. Maccabi Diva in second posse, and Boss continually peeping over the right side. Third posse, 2 away, the favourite Ambulance, followed by Sound Action, and then Lash, Strange Conflict, and last of all is Terrific Tourist. Swinging into the back, going up to the 1500, and Mummify left alone in front, and leads by a couple of lengths on Maccabi Diva, a similar margin. A third is Ambulance, followed by Strange Conflict. By the 1300, a length and a half to Sound Action. Second last is Terrific Taurus, and the New Zealand mare Lashed is last. Down the back in the Ranvet and going along to the 1200, there's no change in the order, and Nikolic has a good grip on Mummify, and the Victorian is a length and a half on Maccabi Diva. Third posse is taken by Strange Conflict, followed closely on its inside by the Baby in the Field Ambulance, and then Sound Action parked inside of Terrific Taurus, and a length and 3/4 to Lashed. Nothing's taking on Mummify at this stage, and as they sweep out of the back straight and come along to the 800 marker, it's Mummify the leader, but here goes J.A. Cassidy on Strange Conflict, and Strange Conflict in a lightning raid goes up to take the lead narrowly from Mummify. Maccabi Diva tracks them a length and a half, third and a couple to Ambulance, who's close enough if good enough. Then Sound Action improving her posse, followed by Terrific Taurus hard at it, and Lash being desperately ridden as they come to the corner. 450 to go. The race is on, and it's Mummify leading out and kick clear. A length and a half on Strange Conflict, Maccabi Diva, and now the 3-year-old called upon Ambulance, and Sound Action is coming down the outside. Big finish coming up maybe at the 200. Mummify from Ambulance, Sound Action and Maccabi Diva, but Sound Action, the mare from Colac in Victoria, and Wayne Hawkeye aboard, put pay to them, and Sound Action wins it. Very close for second and third, nothing between Ambulance and Maccabi Diva from Mummify. Then came Lashed, long margin off to Terrific Taurus, and Strange Conflict was last. Well, what a thrill for Wayne Hawkeye and Roberta Maguire. Terrific thrill for Roberta and Wayne. with the Vittori mare Sound Action taking out the Ranvet Stakes. Number 6. Be close for second. Nothing between Ambulance and Mackay Diva. Could go either way for second. The judge is looking at his finish links. He can't pick it off the initial first sighting. Sound Action clocking up 2 minutes 03.22. The record is 2:00.24. Got a good run in front, Mama 5 for Danny Nikolic, until Jimmy went up on Strange Conflict, and then the race really started to rev up. But just waiting his time, biding on Sound Action. Wayne let her rip in the straight down to the 300. One to come in. Stand by relays, here we go. All in. All in now for the Coolmore Classic, main race of the day here at Rosehill. Private Steer is the popular pick in front of Vocabulary. They're ready. Racing in the Classic at a nice level dispatch. Galapagos Girl and Faith Hill jump quickly. Shower of Roses and Shamika handy. Victory Vane and Polar Success not far away. Then Forum Floozy. Boss Pratted very wide on Private Steer, so he's got to go forward. Xana is midfield, and then Vocabulary a length and a half further back is Hinting, followed by Lucida in a bound. Extreme over on the rails next in the run. Ain't seen nothing at Absolute. Mrs. Tendulkar. They race to the 1,000 marker, and the leader is now Shower of Roses from Shamika. Galapagos Girl is third. Private Steer is running fourth from Victory Vane, then Forum Floozy deep. Faith Hill in the middle, followed by Polar Success, and then Xana Hinting wide out. A length and a half further away, Vocabulary. Lucida in a bound is trapped out wide from Extreme. Over on the inside, next is Ain't Seen Nothing, and 2.5 to Mrs. Tendulkar. They're coming down to the 600 in the Coolmore Classic, and Shower of Roses. 3/4 of a length on a stablemate Shamika. 2 Private Steer, Galapagos Girl. Forum Floozy out off the track. A length and a half to Victory Vane, and then Faith Hill and Hinting. And well back is Vocabulary, and in a bound to the extreme outside, straightening up, and Shamika shot clear. And at the 300 marker now, Shamika from Shower of Roses. Vocabulary's gone up on the inside. Private Steer goes after Shamika, then Forum Floozy, Galapagos Girl and Xana. It's Shamika in front, 100 to go. Private Steer is battling on tenaciously, but Shamika in front of Private Steer, and Shamika wins the Classic from Private Steer. Forum Floozy close up in a photo with on the inside Lucida. Shower of Roses not far away with Xana, and then came at the head of the others 2 lengths further back in a bound, followed home then by Forum Floozy pulling up quickly with Hinting, Extreme, and then Mrs. Tendulkar, Galapagos Girl, Polar Success, Faith Hill and Victory Vane. Official placings. Official placings in the Coolmore Classic. Shamika has done it for Gay and Jimmy Cassidy. Owners His Excellency Nasser Abdullah Hussain Luta, and trained by Gay by Secret Savings, and out of the Don't Say Halo mare Lifetime Story. And here are the numbers coming up, and they read 10, 1, 7 and 6. Number 10 Shamika, Jimmy Cassidy first. Number 1 is second, Private Steer, Glenn Boss for John O'Shea, a mare by Dane Hill Dancer. Number 7, Forum Floozy third, a mare by Dana Singer, John Hawkes, Rod Quinn. And number 6 ran fourth, and that was Xana, the Coolmore Classic. Private Steer, Shamika beating at a half length, but certainly Private Steer wouldn't have lost any admirers from the Doncaster point of view, where she dropped substantially on the weight she carried today. Now they're ready. And off they go. On a high immediately goes out the back. Yell, one of the early leaders, taken on by Sportsman. Century Kid third, and Grand Armine, no luck in the early stages. Then True Glow, followed by Thorn Park. Then the Grey Stowaway on a high, and 2 lengths Patezza. Yell in front as they go down to the first corner, sighted at the 1,000 markers. And at this point, it's going to be Yell a length and a half. Second, Sportsman. Century Kid running third. True Glow fourth. Over on the inside, and then comes Grand Armine. Stowaway on a high. Thorn Park wide out. 2 lengths Patezza going past the 800 marker, and Yell shows out nearly 2 lengths now on Sportsman. At his quarters on the outside and getting a little closer now, Century Kid to move up into almost second posse at the 600. True Glow inside, Grand Army. Thorn Park's been wide from the word go from Honor High, and then Stowaway and Absolute as Patezza as they wheel for home now. And here Beatman lets Yell have his head, and Yell booted about 2 Century Kid as these jockeys are starting to race a little wider on the home turf, and down past the 300 marker. Yell 2 lengths clear. Here's Grand Army pegging him back. Thorn Park wider out. True Glow, then Century Kid. Thorn Park struggles. Yell still the leader. Grand Army is not picking him up quickly enough at the moment, and Yell, ridden for dear life by Darren, will win it. Yell has beaten Grand Army, and True Glow followed by Century Kid, and then came Patezza. Followed further back in the field by Honor High and then Stowaway. Thorn Park has run second last. He was very wide all the way, and Sportsman knocked up to finish Absolute. Yell has taken it out. Number 2, Yell, for Darren Beatman and Johnny Hawkes. That was the Yell that we came to know in the autumn. And the Anabar gelding holding on too well. Number 1 has run second, Grand Army, ridden by Danny Beasley. And 7, True Glow, third, Damien Oliver. Number 4, fourth, and that was Century Kid. Well, Thorn Park was wide from start to finish, and he weakened very, very badly over 8. Waiting on Derby Parade to settle. Bit of a chain reaction with him. Line stands a wee bit better now. And away they go. And one of the best out was Derby Parade. Moa Man hopped away nicely, so did Striking Victory. And then Daniels the Man, Bulla Borghese, followed by Romeo George, and then Lyman Hall far was, and a gap to Race's Success. Then the favourite Hassel, County Tyrone pretty wide out, Uali next to last, and Brave Players last. At the end of 350, and Moa Man leads clearly over Derby Parade. Striking Victory in the centre third, Daniels the Man the rail, and wider out next is Bulla Borghese, about a length and a half then to Lyman Hall wide. In the centre is Race's Success, Romeo George on the rail, then far was, and 2 lengths to Hassel. County Tyrone a fraction wide, followed by Uali and a couple to Brave Player. Along the back of the track they travel down to the 1200 marker, and Moa Man is the leader. He's keen to run. He's a length and a half on Striking Victory. Third on the inside is Derby Parade. Then Bulla Borghese, 2.5 lengths further away in the field is Daniels the Man, Lyman Hall. And then comes Race's Success, 1.5 then to Far Was, followed by Romeo George on the rail. A gap of a length and a half then to County Tyrone Uali. Hassels back to second last. And Absolute as they come along the side is Brave Player. 700 ahead of them here, and there's little or no change in the order. Moa Man from Striking Victory. And then comes Derby Parade, Bulla Borghese, Lyman Hall, and then Daniels the Man, followed by Race's Success. A length further back is Far Was being called upon, but he's desperately under pressure here. Wider out County Tyrone Uali, and then comes Romeo George, who's dropped back. Hassel's got one behind it. That's Brave Player. Into the straight, Moa Man. He's been the leader from almost the time they hopped out of the stalls. He's taken on by Striking Victory. Derby Parade sticking on nicely. Then Daniels the Man, and a couple further back, County Tyrone. Hassel will run near last than first, but Daniels the Man went to Striking Victory. Moa Man gave up meekly, then County Tyrone, but it's Daniels the Man streaking away, and Daniels the Man beat County Tyrone, Striking Victory and Uali. Then Derby Parade, further back Race's Success, Brave Player, Romeo George, Moa Man. Hassel was disgraceful and beat 3 to the line, Bulla Borghese, Lyman Hall and Far Was. 22, 10 and 450, Daniels the Man, number 3. Number 3, Daniels the Man, trained by Anne-Marie Moller at Agnes Banks for Mr. Bob Rutley by Touching Wood from Top Rail, a 6-year-old bay gelding, improved by 2 runs back from a spell. Wasn't suited by the slow speed at Kembla last Saturday when Striking Victory was rated well in front. And he was too good today, Daniels the Man. He's a pretty handy horse, a Wyong Cup winner of last year, of course. Number 3, the winner, Daniels the Man, ridden by Glenn Boss. Number 1 has run second. That was a very good performance by County Tyrone, getting back into form. 3 runs from a spell now, ridden by Damien Oliver for Chris Lees, and number 5 has run the third, Striking Victory. A Victory Dance gelding, Gerald Ryan, Brad Pengelly, and number 13 ran fourth, and that was Uali. Well, I can't get over how badly the favourite went, Hassel. Never got out of second gear despite the urgings of C. Brown. Was dropped back to about second last at the 800, and basically has not improved an inch. All on from there. must be something wrong with it, Hassel. He was hard at it a long way from home, and very, very disappointing.
Reputation for romance and drama was enhanced by Amberley House's surprise win in this year's steeplechase. 73-year-old trainer Ginger McCain, who took Red Rum to 3 national wins in the 1970s, was back in the winner's enclosure after 27 years.
I honestly thought we were going to run a big race, but at the end of that, you never really think you're going to win it, do you?
A statue of Red Rum stands proudly near the paddock, and a hat-trick from paceman Matthew Hoggard has helped England to an 8-wicket win